name's Wee. I love art and I find myself happy and fun when drawing art, and I want to be an artist in someday. What? You want to be an artist? That's such... Why? You can be a doctor, you're talented, and you can do something better than just be drawing stuff. That's nonsense. Dad, art has a meaning. It doesn't mean it's meaningless or just a nonsense stuff like you said. Who cares about that? I told that you have to study some things that you can be a doctor, you can be a normal worker, but not an artist. Ugh, I don't want to talk to you anymore. So that's how a normal conversations happen in my family every day. Yeah, I don't find a connection with that. Because anytime I want to say anything, they just stop me and say what they want to say and just force me to do whatever they want. And yeah, that's my story. But it seems not just my personal problem, but it's a social problem which is true to everyone. And when surfing internet, I saw a lot of memes about conflicts between parents, especially Asian parents with their children. And we, Asian children, seems to have a fear that we are not good enough for our parents' expectations, and also have some fear of communicating or clearly connecting with our parents. When doing some research about this, I found out that 73% of parents feel stressed about conflicts with their children, and this proportions in teenagers is about 59%. Also, another study published a journal also found that conflicts with parents are the most common reason why teenagers run away from home. Recently, a study revealed that conflicts between parents and children is more common in families with a low level of communication and problem-solving skill. And when the experiment told about 4 monkeys in a cage. In that cage, there was a ladder with a banana on top of it. And when side, they excitedly screamed, "Banana!" and climbed the ladder. The experimenter sprayed all of the monkeys with icy water. They didn't enjoy it. And many times like this, eventually the monkey didn't dare to climb the ladder anymore, and even with some monkey that tried to climb onto it. Then the experiment put a new monkey onto the cage. The first thing that the new monkey did was try to climb the ladder to reach the banana. Immediately, other monkeys pulled him off and bit him. And yeah, did you realize anything? We are just like the new monkey, and our parents are the old ones. The reasons for the conflicts between the monkey is that they have a completely different experience. While the old monkey is obsessed with the terrible experience with icy water, the new monkey seems to just curious and desire to taste the wetness of banana. And of course, no one is right or wrong in this story, both, and nor in our old story. My parents and many Vietnamese parents out there have witnessed or experienced the hardship of their children, the struggle of finding a job. Therefore, they carry a fear of us having to go through such difficulties and failures, and the belief that preventing us from pursuing our dreams is necessary, even if it means that using negative means such as beatings, hitting, or cursing. But have you ever tried to understand for the experience? Or you just like the monkey in the story who only focus on what you want to obtain? And finding an answer to the problem is also when I realized that I may never overcome the huge wall of generation gap. Although the jam has changed, the water may not spout again, or the monkey may be able to endure the cold to get the banana. But the problem is that convincing someone who have haunted by such a fear is never easy. In the modern age, you are equipped with the mindset to face risk, to pursue what you want, but your parents need a sense of security. Because don't forget that whenever you fail, they will share a part of your failure. So how can we get the support and agree from the old monkey? So how can we get the old monkey to agree or to let the young monkey to take the banana? Or how can our parents agree or support us to do whatever we want, things made against the belief? And in the journey to find that solutions, magically, I found a solution at a night, a really normal night, when I was tossing and turning. I realized that my mom was still awake beside me. So I asked, "Mom, are you still awake?" What's wrong? I impulsively asked her, when you was young, how was your day in the school? I don't know why I asked that, but my mom seems kind of interested to tell me a story about her experience when he was in school. And throughout the story, I realized one thing is really important, is that I can see the desire to study of my mom, but the things that surprised me is that she doesn't complete the high school. Like he just finished the ninth grade and quit the study. And I asked my mom, so why didn't you finish you finish high school? At the time, your uncle went to the army and your aunt was still too young to work, so your grandparents want to drop the school to work on the farm for the harvest seasons. Then my mother told me how ashamed he was with their friends, how she had to rush to hide every time they passed by the field after school. She also shared her jealousies and envy towards my aunt and uncle, who was able to complete their education while she couldn't. Hearing my mom's story, I understood everything he went through and saw my mom in the vulnerable state, not as stern as usually was. I realized that that she was always carried that insecurity, sacrificing her own needs to provide me with the best education as possible. And she burdened me with some pressure about academic performance because her unfulfilled dreams, and she hoped that to see, and I know that she hoped to see her success as if I were her, and she hoped to see me success as if it was her own success if she has continued to the education, the brighter future, as she said. I felt more compassion toward my mother. No longer hate her for the pressures that he had put on me. After all, who could blame a victim for such a pain and suffering? instead of telling me what to study to achieve a great success because she had sacrificed too much for me. My mother's story touched me more than anything, more than any lectures, like reluctant educating lectures. Her story truly connected me and her together. From now on, I may no longer feel uncomfortable or angry with the demands she placed on me, but rather I would embrace it with a joy because I understand her better. That conversation was a rare moment where I felt understood by both myself and my mother. Why did I always try to find reasons to convince my parents? When the distance and the conflicts that I have thought I could never overcome were conquered through sharing and storytelling. Perhaps the issue was never been about whether parents will agree or not. As I said, we cannot make a heart full of men believe that the outside world has changed and become much brighter. We, as the children, have a responsibility to heal those wounds with empathy and share them with our parents. Only when we understand the reason behind the actions that we can avoid being angry or resentful toward them. Therefore, difficult issues must be resolved through a long journey and the patience of both sides. If possible, young people should be the one to show patience and sincerity to regain a little bit of trust from their parents. Then the parent will be more willing to share the story and eventually through listening. I believe that they will become a good listener as my parents, like how my parents change. Sharing through storytelling, the personal story or even just daily story with our parents is also a good way to prevent the conflicts between us and our parents that already happened or may happen. It's a powerful tool for your communications to become a better and easier way to improve your relationship. Through personal stories, we get to know each other more deeply. We tend not to share because we are afraid that we will be judged. And through communication, we shorten the barriers and encourage the open-minded for ourselves and our parents. This led to the result of building empathy. We understand each other's perspective, and by that we can reduce the chance of conflicts. And more than that, normally we are passively taught and learn from our parents' advice, but I think it is not a good way. Like reading books, we learn new things from books really fast and really interesting because we find it amazing. We want to find more information about it because it's amazes you by its honesty. And we will give up on the books that we find useless in our views, even if the beliefs and understanding in that books are proven to be right in many people. Really simple, just because it doesn't fit your vibe, so we just give it up. Likewise, our parents are the books, and parents must find a way to become what I call interesting. In the children's minds, it's simple. It's the simplest way to, and the most possible that you can do to make your educating lecture becoming a story, which is the key to solve the conflicts. Instead of telling how you feel about that, turn it into your experience and share that story to your parents. Let's say you're feeling, for example, a young adult may want to pursue a creative career path such as art or music, but their parents might pressure them to choose a more traditional or financially stable career, the young adult might feel misunderstood and frustrated by the parents' lack of support for their passion. But in this case, the individual could turn their feelings into a story and share it with their parents. They could talk about the time that they were felt particularly inspired by the art and how it's made them feel fulfilled and happy. They could also share how it feels when their parents don't support their dreams and how it affects their relationship with them. By sharing this story, the individual is giving their parents insight into their perspective, and by helping them understand why pursuing the creative career is so important to them. It also allows for more open and honest conversations about conflicts, rather than just arguing or getting defensive. So, solving the conflicts is the way that we can make and turn the home as the true meaning of it, which is the way we can turn back whenever we feel tired, and where we can find love, we can share our story, and we can be happy. And the last one, I want to send my thanks to the people that I find sometimes most annoying person in the world, but also some person that I love the most. The people that give me some unwanted educating lectures, but also the person that always want to send for me with the most beautiful, the best thing in the world. That's my parents. I want to send my love to them. I just want to send thanks of my parents. Thanks for being my parents. Thanks for giving me thanks for always spending the best thing for me, even if sometimes it wasn't in a good way. But I know it, I understand it, and I hope that you and we can understand our parents better and can solve the conflicts by storytelling. And thanks for listening.